All right, what's up, Dragon Brood? Today we're going to be playing what is quite possibly the greediest aggro deck we've seen in a long time. It plays 4 colors and not even a real theme necessarily between them. Just beat your opponent down and get wins. So yeah, starting at the top, we have some Novus Inspector. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I feel like this could maybe be the 2/3 black creature, I think. But otherwise, this is fine. It does give us a way to draw cards. A couple of Requisition Rage. Now, this deck originally was played by somebody in Rap Solo's tournament last week, I believe, 2 weeks ago. But they did have Requisition Raids in the sideboard because they played best of 3. I'm putting a couple of them main deck because we're playing best of 1, and I wanted a couple of cards to be able to do with artifacts and enchantments. We do have Kellen Planar Trailblazer, so we can get a double striker, which is nice. Sky Knight Squire. Not a card I thought would fit in this type of list, but it does give you a flyer, and you don't have many of those, so why not? Nowhere to Run, a way to remove some of your opponent's stuff, even if they have hexproof. Inti, Seneschal of the Sun, another way to get cards and pump our team. Intrepid Paleontologist. This was not in the original list, and I decided to go ahead and add some for 2 reasons. One, we are playing a 3-color deck, and you just want to have cleaner mana. Also, it's a human, so it's easy to use the multi-lands like Cavern of Souls and call human so you can cast it. But even more importantly, we're seeing a lot of the Cavero VV decks, right? Things that are used in the graveyard, so having something to get rid of graveyard stuff is important. Questing Druid. This is a card that kind of fell off for a minute, but now we can use it to find extra things. And honestly, there's only 4 other green cards in the deck, so pretty much everything will pump this up. Lightning Helix, just for some quality removal and life gain, but also can be finishing damage in this list. Cosmic Grand Zenith, with all of our 1s and 2s, we should be able to play this pretty reliably and get the bonuses from it. Preacher of the Schism, just hanging out here, I guess, because it's a good Death Toucher, but it does get you some life in a pinch, sometimes cards, so don't hate it. Joshua, Phoenix Dominant. I don't know if we're going to ever flip this to the backside, but this seems like a deck that would do it very often. So, yeah, why not? Let's go for it. It does help us dig for stuff and has a 4 toughness, which is important. It also plays Geological Appraiser, which I thought was very neat, because if you play this after a Cosmic Grand Zenith, say turn 3, then this on turn 4, you actually get to cast 2 spells off of it, so you automatically get to trigger your Zenith, which is actually pretty sweet. Kind of some nice little thinking outside the box there. Could possibly even get you 2 creatures at a time to pump up like the Sky Knight Squire. Like, technically, you could go Squire into Zenith into Appraiser, and if the Appraiser hits a creature, you now have a max value Sky Knight Squire that's flying over the top and counters on everything. So yeah, there's some neat lines this deck can definitely achieve. And I need to remember to announce last week's winner right now. So Tobito Dorito, I believe is the name. You left a comment on last week's video about the Golgari +1/+1 counters. So congratulations. Remember, you too can be eligible for the drawings. If you leave a relevant comment on each gameplay video, I pick one out from the last week and pick out a winner. As for Tobito Dorito, follow the link in the description. There you go. And come over to the Discord. Leave me a comment, and we will get you all hooked up, get your information, send you a prize pack. Otherwise, y'all watch this video. If you like the deck, we'll have a link to take you over to Moxfield, our channel sponsor, where you could download this. And y'all know the drill, but we're going to change it up. If y'all are going to be looking to play cards with me, I'm going to be at, I was going to say MagicCon, but it's Command Fest Vegas in 2 weeks, actually. It's coming up pretty quick. So yeah, go over to Card Shop Live. They have all the information there if you want to sign up, get your tickets. But I'll be there for the weekend, so come say hi, come play some Magic with me. For now, let's go see if we can use all this greediness to stomp on our opponents. Okay, it's not flashy, but it's serviceable. I mean, worst case scenario, we can just draw a card on turn 2. Don't love that as our option, but, you know, if we don't have anything else, that's fine. We have a lot of things that cost 2, though, so obviously we'd love to find those. But we did not, so we're just going to attack. Alright. Intriguing. I do love that we have some 4 toughness things, though. Makes it bit more difficult for the opponent to just kill your stuff with the -3 toughness with like nowhere to run or whatever, which is super nice. I assume now they have removal. Nope, I was going to say it'd be aimed at Cosmic Grand Zenith, but maybe they're... Nope. I was about to say Landlight, but it's not that either. Alright, so let's just do this. Put this on, I guess, green for now. I kind of want it on black, though. But there's a world where we might want to play the Paleontologist. Whoa, the opponent's just scooping? I mean, I guess if they figured we were going to play 2 spells and they were already going to be far enough behind, great. Because, I mean, if they are Landlight or if their only removal was like a 5-mana sweeper or something, I guess. Our hand was pretty locked and loaded, though. We were just going to play Appraiser, get the 2 triggers, or 2 spells cast. I was going to put counters on everything and just go for it. Sure, why not? This seems fine. I am wondering, though, like, I get that people are concerned about the mono green landfall deck and stuff, and sometimes they're able to give stuff hexproof or whatever, but I think I'd rather still just have something that's just a hard spot removal spell. You know? And that's... Maybe that's too short-sighted thinking or whatever, but I just feels like that would be so much better. Yeah, I was okay with that dying, actually. Which is why I ran that out there. Kind of testing what removal they have. Let's go ahead and play Preacher here. Since 4 toughness is a little more difficult for them to deal with. Guess what? We can kill a Screaming Nemesis. Let's put this on human for later. And we'll just get rid of a Screaming Nemesis. We will attack, which makes us a little 1/1. Which does have lifelink and matters in this fight. And then I'm going to play this post-combat. I didn't want to discard either of these, so there's no point playing it pre-combat. Next turn, I'll at least consider it. And alrighty then. This looks like it was just the Boros Burn deck. I mean, I guess they just decided they're not going to be able to beat a Preacher of the Schism with the life linkers and stuff, and I guess that was it. I don't know. Why does this happen every time? Okay, well. Alright, let's keep this because we have mana to get all of our colors. We have a turn 1 play, turn 2 play if we need it, of different varieties, so not bad. This is just what you call a generally functional hand. Alright. Seam Rip. They're like, no, you don't get to have an Inspector. Which is kind of like, alright, I guess, man. I guess I could go ahead and just play this. Doesn't matter all that much. It's probably some type of Boros control thing, but we'll see. Not, maybe not. Most of the control, yeah, I was going to say, the control decks aren't trying to play Starting Town. That's not their jam. Oh, you know what? This is a Unipile. Alright, I don't know if we can easily beat a Una, but first thing is we got to find more spells we can play. Cheap spells at that, to even have a shot here. I mean, good news is mana's not an issue, but I mean, if we can't cast anything or don't have any aggro, and we're playing almost 30 creatures in this deck too. That's a lot. That's like 28, 29 creatures. All right, your hand's all removal, man. You got it. I'm gonna go ahead and just do this. Wow, that's disappointing. I guess I'll just put this on red, white. I don't even know. We'll see what happens here. I don't even need another Helix. I mean, I'm probably supposed to take it, but I'd rather just dig for another thread if possible. At least we have lands we could discard, so that's good. But who knows? Maybe they just have more removal. Oh, they have their own Cosmic Grand Zenith. Well, that's something. Alright. I guess we'll discard this. I assume they won't block. Alright, so we go ahead and play this, just so we don't waste it. I'll play this and take the 2. Mostly so that I could pump up Kellen and draw a card. I don't have to do this as a sorcery, right? Okay, cool. Alright, Enduring Innocence. And here's a 1-mana spell. Yep. Not a surprise. Get them some duders. Sure, that goes away. Why not? I don't even know what their deck does. I thought this was a Unipile. It's just a bunch of stuff. And it's a bunch of stuff that's working for them, so you know. Can't hate on it. They weren't prepared to attack there. Let's go ahead and draw. Wow. Oh, no. Yeah, we're just wrecked here. We've just drawn so many lands. We are having a hell of a time right now. If I attack, I can turn this into a 3/2 with double strike. I might as well try. I mean, there's really nothing we can do here. I'm just kind of spinning my wheels and goofing around more than anything. Yeah, we just didn't draw. I mean, I'm holding our, what, 3rd actual threat? You know, so this is probably all that's intended to happen here. Alright, I'm willing to just give the opponent the GGs, because I don't see a way we're coming back from. I don't know, I say we'll play a couple more, because I could get my own Zenith, I guess. And we could do something with that. Like, it's not crazy exciting, but it's a thing. They might just pick up Seamrip and just trade it out to give me back the, what you called? The Novus Inspector, because, okay, guess not. I would have considered that, though, if I were them. I think that would have been reasonable. Even here, I might have just put counters on stuff. I think that would have been a more than reasonable option. But to each their own. They are gaining life off of the Dredger's Insights and stuff. Alright. So we have Paleontologist, which is a little bit late to the party, unfortunately. Let's go attacking. Sure, let's go ahead and play this. Oh, forgot, we're still in the combat step there. Play this. Play this down. Pass the turn. Alright. I mean, we're playing Magic. Don't know if we're even close to getting a win at this point. I don't think we are. But this is what we're staring at for the moment. They would like to attack here. That's weird. Why are we attacking? I guess we're planning on sweeping the board? Maybe they want to destroy everything that's untapped? Alright. Sure. You have a nowhere to run. Seems legit, I guess. I mean, doesn't really change. I mean, we're dead either way. I mean, we were dead a couple turns ago, realistically. Alright, I'm going to move on. The opponents had this way locked up. Let's keep it. More red decks. Okay. Well, put this on human for now. This is where it does get tough when you're playing these types of multi-lands, because we don't really have access to a removal spell here, right? So I kind of have to decide on if it's worth it to play Inti or to play a Paleontologist next turn. I'm probably just going to play Paleontologist and call it good, but never know. I could also block here to force them to spend some mana instead of maybe commit another creature to the battlefield. But they might just be leaving up removal here as well, which is what it looks like the situation is. So, what do we want to do here? I want to play Paleontologist, but I feel like Paleontologist is too important. So at least if I do this, we'll draw the removal out. At least I would assume we'll draw the removal out. I was going to say, you don't want us to do anything pre-combat. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright. I mean, I probably should leave this back to block, but let them do whatever they're going to do here. I think we still play Cosmogrand Zenith. Alright. Random, but sure. I'd rather that than this. There are almost no situations where I would use a shelter there. And let's play this and hope we find an untapped land that we could do something with. If it's a multiversal passage or whatever, that would be great. Because then we could play Paleontologist and get rid of something and be right back on track, and that would be awesome. If not, we probably either just discard to Josh or play a second Zenith and hope we can crack the game open in 2 turns. Because right now, I don't even think it's worth blocking, realistically. And this can be done anytime, right? Exhaust doesn't have to be as a sorcery. Interesting. So you get to discard, then draw that many. And you put 1 counter on this card. So you have to, but, but you don't have a way, because you could have attacked with this and risked pumping as well, but you didn't. Alright, I'm your Huckleberry. If you're going to spend removal to just get rid of the Zenith, I guess we're fine. Yeah, I'm okay with that. That was about as good as that turn could have gone for us, honestly. Like, save damage. Made them waste a spell that didn't go to our face. Like, that's not going to get a lot better than that for us. Okay, so we're going to have another safe block here, barring them getting exactly like land and 2 damage spell for 1 mana. But they don't have a good attack here either. Alright, we got a land. Was not what we were hoping for, if we're being honest. So I think we just go double Paleontologist here. And then just play the second one, and we're just going to put counters on everybody. Actually, you know what? That's not true. We're going to make 1/1s here. And then we can go Josh into Nowhere to Run next turn. Discard a land if we get it. If not, we'll just stick with what we got. It's fine. Okay, that is a little bit of a different threat. Now we kind of have to hold the Nowhere to Run. So things changed a little bit. Okay. We can Inti... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need 7. So I guess we're just going to Josh and nothing so that we can know where to run the Slick Shot, possibly. That feels gross, but I think it's correct. It's a mid-0. And then if they don't do anything, we just go ahead. Actually, you know what? Yeah. No, it's not even worth it to attack with that. I almost want to get in with 1 Paleontologist to see what they would do, but it's not worth it. I mean, 2 points aren't going to matter that much here. We can flip Josh next turn, though. We do have enough mana. So So that is on the docket. However, it does only deal damage to opponents and not to creatures, which is very disappointing. All right, let's go ahead and draw a card here. Ah, come on. There we go. Okay, a second nowhere to run. That's not bad. 2, 4, 6. All right, so we can play this one. Second spell each turn. So we can actually pump our team on their turn. This is going to be good. I'm willing to attack with Josh here. Like, what are you going to do? Double block? I mean, actually, that would be kind of bad. Like, that wouldn't be worth it. We'd be trading Josh for either or of those, and that's just not worth it. Especially since we can flip it and get some extra life later. And paleontologists are about to hit the clock hard here. Alright, well, that's unfortunate. You're going to force me to use these nowhere to runs. Alright, well, we have to use one of them. Or else we never get to attack here. Oh, Appraiser, though. Actually, we can go flip this for 5 and still have up... Yeah, let's do that. Alright, let's let ourselves go to 15 there. No attacks in the turn. And now we're set to open things up next turn. Especially with the life-linking flyer now. Because we can just do that with just the Appraiser to play 2 spells, and we're rocking and rolling. Yep. Sure. If I do no blocks, what are you going to try to do here? You know what? I think we still just try to block. Like, it sucks we'll lose our dude. Because I'll want to kill the other one that's not blocked. But we gain 4 life off of it anyway. And then we're probably good to go. Yeah. Seems good. I mean, you obviously have more spells than that, or you wouldn't be attacking here. Though they're probably also worried about what we're going to do with our extra 2 mana, so they may not want to overcommit here. But if so, why did we make the attack? But also depends on what they play here, right? Because if they're only going to put us to, say, like, 6, and they've basically emptied their hand, I might actually kill the one that Josh is blocking, and then just have Josh to go nuts the next turn, you know? Oh, well, not now if you're going to give it double strike. That's disappointing. Alright, so that would be 10. I'd go to 3. And I'd still be facing down 1 slick shot. Nah, it's alright. It's not worth the risk. Alright. We're at 17. Let's start moving this forward. Love to see it. Counters on everybody. Yep, that'll do it. Yeah, I think we still could have got away with killing the other one and going to 6 was probably fine. Just because, well, I say that. Like, we would have dealt 2 more to the opponent, gained 2 more. So then we've been at 8. Josh would have attacked for 5. Would have gone to 13. Still probably are alive there, you know, but yeah, don't want to risk it too much. We also could have played like Inti and then discard a card to make Josh +1. So there was other ways we could have got out of trouble there. So probably didn't have to block the one or kill the one I did, but it worked out anyway. Yeah, let's do it. Man, so many of these decks are out and about. Okay, so what's our plan here? I mean, this is where it's tough, right? We're on the draw against the red decks because you kind of want to play Paleontologists, but you also know what that entails, and it's just going to die, right? So if we block here, they put a counter on it. Oh, they're going to do it anyway. All right, sure. I'll wait and we'll block more damage next turn. Alright, what do we want to do here? Because in theory, putting this on either white or red is the smarter choice. But I'm holding double paleontologist, so I guess I got to put this on green. Hate it, but that's where we're at. No attacks. We need an untapped land is what we need. Real bad. Yep, you have a screaming nemesis. I think we just double blocked this guy. It's not great, but, you know, obviously they're going to kill the paleontologist. Oh, jeez. That's bad news. Alright, well, that's super unfortunate. We've done good beating these decks, but not with this hand. No lands are going to make it hard to play Magic here. Happens sometimes. I mean, if it lives and we were to get nowhere to run, we can nowhere to run into like Kellen or some such. Oh, that's cool. I've been seeing that guy pop up here and there. Alright, well, we got none of those things, so none of this really matters. Basically. Yeah, I think I'm just going to give them the GGs. I mean, we can't really do anything here. We can play this, play Kellen, we're blocking, taking 3. Like, yeah, we're just in bad shape. Let's keep it. I was hesitant because there's not a lot we're doing here. We don't technically have red mana yet. I mean, paleontologist sort of changes that a little bit. Anytime you see him discarding this early, you know we're in trouble. Because we're going to be reanimating some of these things in some way. So we're going to kind of need a paleontologist to live. And I don't know if that's going to happen. But we got to try, right? No attacks. Please don't kill my paleontologist. Oh, is this just like a weird, like, VV deck? I mean, I guess it's possible. That's wild. Okay. Things are a little different than expected now. Oh, I guess. Play this. Play this. Pass the turn? Because obviously I'd rather get rid of this, but we'll probably cast it here. Cavero. What if we remove the one thing we're concerned about? Let's get rid of this. Yeah, you can have that guy. Like, it sucks, right? You still get to put stuff in the graveyard, but yeah, that Cavero is showing up in so many decks right now. Like, one of the main reasons you kind of have to play the paleontologist in these builds. I kind of want to just double block here, if we're being honest. Yeah. Alright. Man, I wasn't going to do much else anyway there. You can play one of those cheaply. Actually, you can play them both cheaply. Ugh. Are we just planning just to remove both of those and do nothing else for the turn? That feels bad. I guess we at least do this. Those are sorcery. Alright. So if they commit to cast one, we'll remove the second one. But yeah, I expect to see Cavero decks everywhere. Like, playing stuff right now that just removes graveyards, if you're playing best of one, is probably not a bad idea. Opponent wants to attack here. Sure. Makes sense. You know what? I will block in the event we might want to kill it at the end of turn with this, depending on what else they do. Okay, now that changes things. Now we kind of have to commit to what we want to do. All right, you're tapping, though, so let's go ahead and... All right. Okay, so now those aren't cheap. So that's good. They did already have another Cavero flip, which I don't know what that means for us. All right. I guess we make the 1/1s. No attacks. Assuming they have another here. And they just Cavero into Arden, and then Arden into whatever guy you want to get back. Nope, they didn't have it. Okay, well, that's a thing. Discarded another Arden? Sure. I mean, I'll just block it. What relevant things are in the graveyard? We still don't have, like, big demons or anything else, right? It's just overlords. I say just. I mean, Arden does give a bunch of abilities to things, but... alright, alright. Let's go here. Just play Kellen and attack, I guess. Probably a bad idea. Probably overcommitting, in all reality. Could have probably just played this, got rid of the Prof's Eidetic Memory, and pumped my team. I feel lucky, though, that we've played against this deck and played a version of it. And we've played against it a bunch of times, so I felt pretty confident here. But yeah, we're in good shape. Let's just pump everybody, destroy an enchantment. Why not? Actually, I'm not even going to do that. Yeah. It's game over anyway, I think. Might as well. Yep, that'll do it. Only reason I hesitated because I was thinking I could just play NT and then pump the team and then we get 2 +1s, which was probably actually smarter because I'd play that. I get the +1 from the Requisition Raid, then +1 from Cosmic Grand Zenith. They block our biggest guy and take away more than 9. So, yeah. But yeah, that was an interesting one. Different build than I've seen of this previously. But they were trying to maximize getting stuff in the graveyard. And the Cavero looks like it was more of the backup plan. More than anything. And leaning on Fear of Missing Out and Tursa to kind of do some of the heavy lifting. Which is pretty cool. Honestly, a different way you can go about it. We're keeping, but I'm going to assume this is not great on the draw. This is like where we want at least one of our 1-mana things. And we did not find one. Authority of the Console. Sure. I'll assume this is some life gain something or other. Until we see otherwise. Alright, surveilling. To play a strategic betrayal. Yeah, sure. That's a very aggressive strategic betrayal, but sure. Put that on old human. I mean, I don't know. Maybe this is just a Orzhov Control of some kind. I have no clue. I do like the fact, though, this deck has options to where you can double spell on the opponent's turn. With, like, your removal, the questing druid, stuff like that, which is kind of cool. Kaya. You don't see Kaya too often.
Somebody bothering you? I'll make them suffer. I've got questions. You've got answers.
I mean, I guess we just go attack Kaya. Can't imagine we're doing anything else here, right? I mean, you made your token, you're just blocking, right? I was going to say, unless they're already set up to try to do something crazy with Kaya, but we'll see. But if they Day of Judgment here, we're not going to be shocked. This is exactly the type of matchup, though, of why you want to have something on those turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 to kind of get ahead a little bit. What you doing, opponent? So yeah, this really is just an Orzhov Control deck. So we just have to be careful about how we use our spells from here, because we don't want to overcommit, knowing that there's at least going to be probably 2 to 3 sweepers played this game, unless they get very unlucky. Alright, that's good and bad. You know, them hitting their lands, but also us knowing they have fewer options in hand. Alright, let's see what they want to do. I'm also trying to figure out like how we want to play these spells, knowing that they're likely to have sweepers. What are our best bets, you know? Alright, let's try to shoot Kaya. Well, we didn't find anything else there, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and play this. And we'll go attacking. I'm assuming they'll block again. Now, if for some reason they don't block, because they're planning on... I mean, I guess we're going to do this anyway, to look at 2 more cards. Oh, wow. Alright. We'll put counters. Sweet.
This city's rotten as ever.
I mean, obviously, we only got those till our next end step, so we kind of had to commit. But I assume this is where the sweeper comes in. Nope, just a Halaya. I'm really curious why they didn't block there. Like, they must have really had a plan for this token. I just don't know what it was. But that's very much what it feels like. Also peculiar because I was thinking they might have a sweeper of some kind, but then now they've played Halaya, so they're likely not wanting to sweep the board. So I've got no clue what's happening right now. I'm kind of half hoping we draw like another land so I could discard it to Josh. So I could play Questing Druid into Josh, get an extra card, and then have the artifacts to help us out in case there's a sweeper. Obviously, it would have been nice to be able to cast a Geological Appraiser, but you do what you got to do to get rid of Planeswalkers sometimes. Okay, so we got the land that we were hoping for, so I think I'm just going to do this. My opponent's already getting life here. I'm just going to put counters. We'll discard and draw. That ain't bad. Okay, their turn. Okay, that was a weird one. Yeah, I'm not sure what this deck was doing. It played like a control deck, but then it was doing this stuff, so I have no idea. Maybe it was life gain based, whatever the case is. But let's go ahead and talk about this deck and figure out what we would want to change or keep here. Yeah, this is interesting. So overall, the deck was 7-4, so not bad at all by any means. And one of those, we just got stuck on lands and couldn't really do much. So that is actually pretty good. I mean, because realistically, if we don't have the bad land draw, maybe we're 8-3 or something. The one thing I will say, though, is I don't know if it needs the black mana, right? There's enough white and red cards that we could play, whether you're talking about Get Lost or Disenchants or Braids or whatever the case is, to get rid of creatures and or other problem cards to where we don't necessarily need Nowhere to Run or Preacher of the Schism. Don't get me wrong, Death Touch nice and all that stuff, but if we did that, you could clean up some of your draws a little bit and just make it 3 colors. However, we didn't have that much trouble casting things. Only in one game, I think, did it come up where we just couldn't get black easily, and the Intrepid Paleontologist actually helped that quite a bit. So this kind of goes both ways. But that would be my main takeaway here, is if we took out the black, could we play... My choice would probably be Get Lost and Abrades, maybe. And then that allows us to turn Requisition Raid into something else as well. And maybe we just play, like, Maximize the Appraisers, play, like, another Inti, possibly, or maybe even just another Questing Druid. So if you have some of the other cards, there's ways you could flex this list and turn it into something that you want to personalize it. But the mana worked out well, so, you know, it's by far the greediest aggro deck we've tried to play in a long time. But it's doing a lot, and it got results, so sure. Like, but yeah, links in the description. Check it out. Don't forget to leave a relevant comment for this video, so that way you'll be eligible for next week's drawings. And keep watching the next video, because YouTube says you're going to like it anyway, and it helps the channel. But that's all I have for now. We'll see you next time.